What is up, guys? It's Tuesday, September 23rd, and this is my trade recap of how I lost $3,200 trading the NASDAQ today. So let's start on the high time frame. Um, First of all, we had all-time high marked out right here, and then we also had London high marked out right here, these two lines up top. Then if we look right here, we have our 4-hour for value gap and our 1-hour for value gap right here. So coming into market open, we retrace into here with London and all-time high stacked up as relatively equal highs right here. So then we could scale down to the 5-minute. And as we scale down on the 5-minute, we could see that we create a 5-minute fair value gap right, where is it? Right here. So it is a small fair value gap, but we do have a 5-minute fair value gap right here. My computer's being slow. Yeah, so we have a tiny 5-minute fair value gap right here. Doesn't matter the size, still a draw towards price to head towards. So I just had them marked out the bottom of this 5-minute fair value gap, but it is right here. So there's our 5-minute fair value gap, another draw for us to target, and then scaling down to the 1-minute. So this is where I found my exact entry. Let's go to believe it. So we had also had PMI today, and then Powell speaking, as well Trump too. So this caused the market to be super choppy. Should have stayed away, but I like the setup. We just didn't execute. So right here we create a SMT at these lows right here, meaning that ES did not make that lower low and NQ did. And then after this right here, we also had these relatively equal highs right here, which is another draw for price to head towards. And this is where I found my exact entry. So right here, this dotted line right here where my cursor is the 4-hour for value gap, CE, or the midline. So you could add the midline tool on TradingView by just double clicking on your box and then add a midline. So this is the midline of the 4-hour gap. We perfectly respect it, and I am looking for long, so I'm looking for more confluences out of here. So we get a CISD following the tap on the 4-hour gap, and then after the CE, we get a 1-minute fair value gap with strong displacement right here. So then I enter in longs once we retap this 1-minute fair value gap, targeting the top of this, or the bottom of the 5-minute gap I mentioned earlier. So if we mark out, my entry was, let's say, right here about, and then we were targeting bottom of this 5-minute with our stop losses just below the 1-minute gap. So pretty tight stop. I was okay with risking what I was. Market ended up being super choppy, but overall, I was okay with this trade. My model showed up. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Honestly, tip number one was just shouldn't have stayed. I should have stayed away and expected a choppy market based off the news that we had with Powell speaking later in the day, and I believe Trump was also speaking during this time, so made the market extra choppy. But we had 1-hour gap, 4-hour gap, SMT, CISD, and then followed by a 1-minute gap with equal highs right here, and then an unfilled 5-minute. And then we also had London and all-time highs stacked up, relatively equal all the way up there. So I thought we'd push higher. We ended up chopping the rest of the day, and we ended up pushing lower later. But as you can see, we kind of just stayed in this range for a super long time, super choppy. These are days you should preserve your capital. But yeah, that's it for me today. Trying to be as transparent as possible. I don't know if I'm going to start posting all my trades, but I'll definitely post trade recaps at least once a week. That's it.